An exciting parcel has just arrived at the Sabine office, and it is our packaging.
Six pioneering companies on their own journey with one goal in mind: to create food products that put nature first. And there's a deadline. They need to be ready by January. In this episode, our food pioneers are getting close to the end of the challenge, so they're now tackling the question of how to package their products and get them on the shelves. Meal in a Jar producers Porkus jet off to Germany to research their jarring processes. We see porridge pioneers Spoon Cereals and Vincent from Junior Bora working their way around their packaging problems. And Aguita Divina, who make an alcoholic seltzer, are wrestling with a lack of skilled tradesmen to make their bottles. First up, we're in Kenya with Vincent from Junior Bora. Last episode, we left him waiting for a reaction from London's Fortnum and Mason. But posting his products packed in glass has been a learning curve. The package they sent to Fortnum and Mason to try their product sadly never made it. The glass broke before it even left Kenya. They tried again, packing it better, but they still had issues.
This is what happened to the second shipment. So, well, packing in glass comes with its conveniences and inconveniences. So the flip bottle happened to sort of uncap itself. So today I'm at the DHL JKIA, that is the airport in Kenya, trying to do the reshipment again. So what we've decided to do is that we'll ship using my cool box, and hopefully it will get in its proper quality, and then we hope to hear soon from Fortnum and Mason.
They've also encountered problems transporting their juice around Kenya.
So today we have been doing a couple of runs delivering to potential customers and really trying to see how it will work. So unfortunately, the vehicle that you're using is not equipped with cold storage. And so if it's not stored under cold storage, that is under 4 degrees Celsius, it starts to sort of ferment in a very fast way. So when I went to open the bottle, it really, you see how champagne opens? That is how our cactus juice behaved today. But we're still looking into that.
But despite all the issues with using glass, Vincent persists, as it allows for a more circular system.
The reason why we chose the glass jar is because, and also the glass bottles that we're currently using, is because one, these glass jars are made from recycled glass. So basically, they're also sort of upcycled products. So secondly, is that we intend on using a reuse model. So what this means is that when we sell the product, so for instance, when you're talking about the Kenyan market, 1 liter of our juice will be retailing at 1,500 shillings. Now, if we sell it to you the first time at 1,500 shillings, what you're trying to do is create a model where people will be returning the glass bottles to us. So the deposit for the glass bottle is 500 shillings. So the next time you make a purchase and you come with your old glass bottle, we'll then sell the juice to you at 1,000. For the cookie jars, they look quite cute, and I think people find uses for them at home. So you've not had a high return rate for the cookie jars because people are putting sugar in these jars in their homes, some salt, so they're making use of them at home.
Meal in a Jar producers Porkus in Yorkshire are also using glass to contain their products. And they're exploring how to expand their reuse scheme. But to find out how to jar their product at scale, they've left Yorkshire and headed out on a research trip.
We are in Germany, in Münster, where we went to see a company called Ruveling, and we're learning jars, because we're the company who makes it in UK, and we went to Germany because it is more prominent here that they make it. And I'll just show you quickly what we do. So they do this in the WEC jars. We do things in the WEC jars. We use German jars. They think about the environment. They reuse the jars. They encourage people to bring the jars back, and then they wash the jars, and then they use the labels that water can take off. off the jar. So there is a lot of thinking. They use solar panels for the electricity. So we're very inspired and we've learned a lot. And it's good that the Ellen MacArthur Foundation gave us a chance to actually go and learn and develop and bring something back that is very important for us as a company. It's important for the environment and for everybody concerned.
Over in Mexico, Agüita Divina are exploring another material to bottle their pulque-based alcoholic seltzer.
En Agüita Divina elegimos hacer nuestras botellas de barro. El barro es un elemento presente en la mexicanidad. De hecho, si tú vas a una comida mexicana, lo más probable es que te sirvan en platos de barro. Al igual que otros elementos de Agüita Divina, el empaque es una fusión entre la innovación y la tradición. Es una inspiración en la herencia de nuestros antepasados y la hemos retomado, le hemos dado un twist para implementarla y utilizarla dentro del diseño circular del alimento, con reduciendo el impacto, sin utilizar plásticos y aprovechando todas las propiedades beneficiosas del barro.
Firing clay also uses less energy than is needed to make glass. And using clay has other perks.
No sé si alguna vez tuviste de esos jarroncitos de agua que lo mantienen pues, incluso más fresca, porque el barro tiene una propiedad que de alguna forma absorbe. El barro es un material poroso, entonces absorbe un tanto los líquidos, entonces de esta forma se mantienen como más frescos.
But creating the clay bottle traditionally has not been as easy as they first thought.
Inicialmente, el plan de producción era hablar con diferentes maestros alfareros y pedirles que hicieran diferentes figuras para la botella y así evaluar cuál que queríamos. Sin embargo, nos encontramos con que cada vez hay menos maestros alfareros y es de hecho un arte que se está perdiendo. Tuvimos que encontrar otra manera de hacerlo. Hicimos un diseño 3D e imprimimos moldes o prototipos. Esto es mucho más rápido y ahí es donde tomamos los aspectos innovadores de la sociedad actual y la mezclamos con la tradición. Y eventualmente pues llegamos a hacer de este modelo 3D, se hace un molde para ahora sí utilizar las técnicas tradicionales de llenado en molde para hacer figuras y recipientes de barro, que es finalmente el producto que queremos, ¿no? Que nos inspire a reutilizarlo, a rellenarlo en las regiones donde estamos cerca y tengamos un producto mucho más circular. El resumen de toda una aventura del empaque.
And Spoon Cereals have also had to rethink their packaging. They started out wanting to use a new and unusual ingredient to package their nature-positive porridge.
So our original idea was to use oat husk packaging. So it basically means that the oat is made up of around 20%, sometimes a bit more, oat husk. And that is often wasted in oat mills. So I found a company who are currently using it in a bakery, and they basically take the oat husk and use that as a replacement for wood in the paper. So it reduces waste within the food industry, and then it stops as many trees being cut down.
But the oat husk bags have not yet been tested for long-term shelf life.
To see if it works for a year's shelf life, we would have to wait a year. So I'm sure it's something exciting for the future, but right now I don't think it's going to work. We are now looking at going for full cardboard box, but more similar to our granola packs. But instead of having the window here, we will have a picture of the oats and the chia, the porridge mix. So that'll save us having a window. That means I'm currently looking at paper pouches instead of, at the moment we've got recyclable plastic, which works really well for the granola, but it is something we are looking at. And I think for the porridge product it'll be really cool to try out the paper packaging. So super excited for that.
Now they've finalised the packaging material and design of the box, Spoon are ready to send it out to stores to get their views on it.
Loving the colours. Very exciting. So this is going to go off to Waitrose now. I'm going to pack it up and fingers crossed.
Next episode, it's the last push for our food pioneers to get their products on the shelves in the Showcase event in London. Join us to find out who has made it.